from Everyday Property Investing, and I'm here today with Elise Parker. And Elise is a master renovator from way back, and she's going to share some of a bit of her life story and tell us how she got into renovating and where she's moved and evolved with her property investing. Hi, Elise.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for being on. I've been trying to catch you guys for
years.
You're elusive.
I know.
And I can see why, sitting here in your little tropical paradise.
I know, we're just doing our thing.
Yeah, so give us the background, because some people may not be aware of who you are and what your background is. So give us the lowdown.
Well, it feels like it's been a while since I've been through this little story, but Dean and I got together. We were both IT professionals. I was actually working for an IT consulting company, training people how to set up their systems in their business, which I actually really like. Strangely enough, we ended up with property systems, but we do like. I started with systems. The thing was, we pretty quickly realised that we were living this life where we had to work pretty hard, and there was no control over our income in terms of there was going to be a cap on that. The other thing was our time. We were spending a lot of time in the car travelling and a lot of time at work, so there wasn't a lot of time left to do anything else. And we're like, geez, this is what life is. So we decided to sacrifice. We were living in Melbourne. We decided to sacrifice and move out to Melton, which is about, in traffic, an hour and a half, but sort of about an hour out. We bought this really old unit, and to the point that when we were about to move into it, I was like crying, going, I can't believe we're doing this. What are we doing? This is not what life is like. As a 25-year-old, thinking that you want to have it all. I mean, at the end of the day, it was fine, but when I look back now, but I'm going. So we bought this property with not the intention of anything going forward. It was more, let's buy a property, we've got to get into the market. We made some capital gains on that property, which was good, but not intentional, but just happened. So that allowed us to buy another property, and the property was an ex-display home, a 20-year-old ex-display home that was in need of a renovation, to the point that the couple that were in there, they'd separated, they'd started the reno, finished the bathroom, but there was no kitchen. So we moved in without an oven and things like that, which was fine. But it was the point that we could actually negotiate. Not everyone wants to buy a house that's halfway through a reno, so it was perfect for us. So we started doing this reno, not knowing anything, but we thought we can do this. We can learn to tile, we can learn to paint, we can put kitchens in. So we learned everything. It took us 18 months, and we got it revalued. Yeah, we did. We got it revalued and realised that the money that we'd made or potentially made, we thought, we've just done that in our weekends. What about if we did that sort of more regularly, if we didn't have to work? So that was sort of the start of it. What we did at that point, though, was we actually bought another property with the equity in that one as a rental. We thought, okay, let's just sort of see what we can do. We'll buy another property, but then we maxed out. We didn't have any equity. The market slowed down, so we weren't making money on just the market. So it was like, okay, what else do we do? And that's when we met Steve McKnight, and Steve sort of showed us a strategy, showed us the ways that, hang on, you have maxed out. Sometimes you've got to give a bit to move on. Which at that point meant we actually sold all 3 properties and cashed up to see what we were going to do next, and that was with the intention of renovating. Yeah. So that was our start, and we thought, how can we? We just had to do it. We just had to do it better, and we're like, okay, we've got to cash up. Yeah. And
were you guys still working in your jobs at this point?
Yep. Full time. Definitely working full time. So we were. When we were doing our first reno, I remember some of Dean's friends coming over, because they were in the same area, living in Melton as well, and they would come over and they would just look at us, and we'd be in the garden doing something, and they would painting, and they'd be like, you guys are crazy, like, what are you doing? And it was, we worked hard. We didn't socialise or do much. It's like we would work, we'd come home at night and we'd have our dinner, and at that time we were having lean cuisine meals in the microwave, which it's supposed to be 99% fat free, and when I look back at the photos, it's the fattest I've been. So I don't condone that anymore. So it was really good at the time.
Yeah, when you have 7 of them. Like.
That's right. So no, I don't. But people thought we were crazy, but we were working 2 jobs. Yeah. But
just out of interest, I just thought I'd share this with you. Your complete renovation system, the product that you guys put out, which we'll get to it, I'm sure, at some point. I used to listen. I probably listened to that 20 times in my
too
car driving to Melton, listening to the story of the stinky Melton,
Stinky brown
stinky
unit.
brown unit. Because I bought a little house. My first, it wasn't my first investment, but it was one of my first. Going over there to do a little cosmetic reno, and I remember listening to that story of the stinky brown unit, and I was just thinking, here I am living the dream as well.
Yep.
So there you go.
I think you've got to do it, and it's probably one of the key things. You've got to do it. It's not easy. It's not pretty and glamorous. I guess to start with, you've got to start. We've done everything. We've tiled. We've painted.